For the past 5.5 years since April Kauffman was found shot to death inside her home in Linwood, New Jersey, there's been little movement on this case, and no arrests had been made in connection with the murder. That is, until today. By way of background, on Thursday, May 10, 2012, at approximately 11:29 a.m., officers from Linwood Police Department responded to a 911 call at a private residence located at 2 Woodstock Drive, located in Linwood, New Jersey. There was a report of an unconscious, non-responsive female at this location. Upon arrival, responding police and emergency medical services personnel were met by a resident of the home, James Kauffman, who reported finding his wife, April, deceased inside the second-floor bedroom of their residence. Inside the second-floor master bedroom of the residence, police and emergency services personnel discovered April Kauffman unconscious and laying face down on the floor. At 11:45 a.m., April Kauffman was pronounced dead. Atlanta County Medical Examiner Dr. Heido Park was notified and responded to the scene, at which time it was ascertained that April Kauffman had sustained multiple gunshot wounds. Over the last 10 months since my appointment as the Atlanta County Prosecutor, I've allocated the resources necessary for those in my office to specifically dedicate their time to take some action on this matter. From the outset, I want to thank the members of the Atlantic City Field Office of the FBI Police Department, the Egg Harbor Township Police Department, Summers Point Police Department, the Cape May County Prosecutor's Office, and the Lower Township Police Department, and a host of other agencies who have supported this office throughout the many phases of the investigation. There are several agents from both the FBI and from this office in this matter. Without their dedication and commitment, we would not be standing here today. Suffice it to say that we had a shared commitment which resulted in today's arrest. Today, James Kauffman, age 69, and Ferdinand Augello, age 62, were charged with murder in connection with the death of April Kauffman, in addition to racketeering related to the illegal distribution of narcotics through Kauffman's former medical practice. Additionally, Augello is charged with conspiracy to commit the murder of James M. Kauffman. Upon information and belief known to my office, an individual named Francis Frank Mulholland was paid a sum of money to kill April Kauffman. Almost 18 months after April Kauffman's murder, Frank Mulholland died in October of 2013 by, at the time, what was determined to be an accidental drug overdose. Through our investigation, we determined that a long-term alliance between members of the Pagan Outlaw Motorcycle Gang and James Kauffman was created for the mutual financial gain through the use of Kauffman's medical practice for illegal drug distribution. This relationship ultimately culminated on May 10, 2012 with the murder for hire of April Kauffman. Prior to 2011, defendant Kauffman and Ferdinand Augello had a relationship which centered around the medical practice. And in the summer of 2011, James Kauffman solicited Augello to murder his wife. As a result of April Kauffman's desire to divorce James Kauffman, he was intent to rather have her killed as opposed to losing his financial empire, as he described it to several individuals. It was also determined through information and belief that April Kauffman had learned of the many unlawful practices that James Kauffman was utilizing his medical practice for. She threatened to use this as leverage to expose him to gain a favorable divorce settlement. As a result, this provided motivation for James Kauffman to have his wife killed. It should be noted that the illegal drug distribution network was set up in a typical pattern of hierarchy. James Kauffman and Ferdinand Augello were at the top. James Kauffman would essentially give free prescriptions for opioids such as Percocets, OxyContin, and oxycodone to those individuals sent to his medical practice by Ferdinand Augello. Ferdinand Augello had at least 2 individuals recruiting for him to obtain the scripts, and in turn, those individuals then recruited additional people to obtain illegal prescriptions. Ferdinand Augello would receive either a cash payment of $1,000 per prescription or a predetermined number of pills once the script was filled. If an individual did not have insurance, they were required to pay anywhere from $100 to $250 per visit to Jim Kauffman. Those that would receive the prescriptions would either resell them or keep them for their personal use. At some time in 2011, James Kauffman and Ferdinand Augello propositioned a number of individuals to murder April Kauffman. The basis was that April Kauffman threatened to expose the illegal drug distribution operation. They were unsuccessful in this recruitment for approximately a year until Ferdinand Augello found Francis Mulholland willing to take up the contract. Mulholland was the friend of a pagan associate and a member of the illegal drug enterprise. Upon information and belief, Frank Mulholland received a ride to the Kauffman residence in the early morning hours of May 10, 2012. The doors were left open, and Frank Mulholland was given a gun to carry out his task. He went inside and he shot April Kauffman twice. Payment was made thereafter to both Ferdinand Augello and Frank Mulholland. Ferdinand Augello has stated that he received approximately $20,000 in cash for his role. However, it is speculated that he may have received even more. The money was picked up on the day of the murder by Ferdinand Augello's ex-wife, Beverly, who her role will be named in a moment. The scripts were in addition to additional illegal prescriptions. The scripts were used to obtain drugs that day, and the money was given to Ferdinand Augello. Following the murder, the drug enterprise continued for approximately 5 additional years. Those receiving pills did change during that time. However, every person to be involved in the drug enterprise was either a pagan, a former pagan, or an associate of the pagan outlaw motorcycle gang. The enterprise folded in June of 2017 with the arrest of Jim Kauffman on weapons charges. In all, total, 8 individuals were arrested today. James Kauffman, 69, of Linwood, most recently of the Atlanta County Justice Facility, for first-degree racketeering, first-degree leader of a racketeering organization, and murder. Ferdinand Augello, 62, of Petersburg, New Jersey, on a first-degree leader charge of a racketeering organization, first-degree murder, and conspiracy to murder James Kauffman. Joseph Mulholland, 52, of Petersburg, of the Villas. He is unrelated to Francis Mulholland, ironically, but on first-degree racketeering charges. Beverly Augello of Summerland Keys, Florida, age 47, on first-degree racketeering. Glenn Sealer, 37, of Sanford, North Carolina, on first-degree racketeering. Paul Pagano, 61, of Egg Harbor Township, on second-degree racketeering. Tabitha Chapman, 35, of Absecon, on second-degree racketeering. And Cheryl Pizza, 36, of Merrill's Inlet, South Carolina, on second-degree racketeering.